Evening, guys. Everything new under the sun. Breaking news: a chemical attack has occurred in Syria, and we spoke about this before. I did a video on the 26th, I think it was. This is the article from debka.com. We're going to link it together. Basically, Russia was saying in this video, U.S. attack imminent. This is what Russia said. This is a video I did. This was on March 26th, and it was a debkafile.com article. And basically saying, well, let's go to the article. This is debka.com, and of course it's not gonna load for me now. I'm gonna have to wait for it to load again. Here we are. So basically, Russia is claiming for the past 10 days that Trump administration is about to attack Syria because of Assad's army's use of chemical weapons in East Ghouta. Washington has not addressed the claim. Remember, this is from the 26th, 24th, this March 24th is this article here, where Russia is saying there's going to be a false flag in Syria about a chemical weapons attack, and the U.S. is going to use it to attack Syria. Well, the Russian general, we're going to go to the article where that just happened today, but just one sentence here. The Russian general staff first warned about an imminent attack on Syria on Tuesday, March 13th. They said Russia has reliable information about militants preparing to falsify a government chemical attack against civilians, and warning that Russia would respond to a U.S. strike on Syria if the lives of Russian servicemen were threatened. So we get to the actual article here. This is from BBC.com, breaking news. This happened 1 hour ago. You can see the stamp there, the timestamp. Syria war. Trump condemns Syria for chemical attack on Duma, and this is exactly what Russia said. Russia said there's going to be a false flag, a false chemical attack. It's going to trigger U.S. into the battle, and Russia will then respond to the U.S. So who did this? Who was it? Syrian government forces? And Trump has come out with a comment on this here. I don't know if this video will play or not. U.S. President Donald Trump has lashed out at Syrian President Bashar Assad and his allies, Russia. Remember, Russia is saying it's a false flag by the U.S. effectively so that they can go in there. It's going to play an advertisement first. Fair enough. Trump has lashed out at Bashar Assad and his allies, Russia and Iran, over suspected chemical attack, saying there will be a big price to pay. Is Donald Trump using this, what Russia calls a false flag, to give the U.S. the ability to go into Syria? At which point Russia will then use that as an excuse to strike at the U.S. Medical sources say dozens of people were killed in an attack on the rebel-held town of Duma Saturday. This is a video from BBC of people getting treated, apparently, fresh water cleaning off. They're basically rinsing them down, rinsing the chemicals out of their eyes, out of their mouths, etc. They're having trouble breathing, foaming at the mouth. So these are apparently kids in Syria after a chemical attack, giving inhalers, trying to help them breathe, basically. I don't want to leave it on there too long for fear of a strike. But that's apparently what's happening. The UN Security Council is expected to discuss the crisis Monday. Both Syria and Russia deny a chemical attack took place. Now, the suggestion was that, in fact, it was going to be a false flag by Russia to convince the U.S. to go in there, which then Russia would respond to by saying, well, the U.S. went in there and he initiated it. And they're calling it a false flag. They were setting up the propaganda to suggest that the U.S. triggered this false flag in the first place. So whose false flag was it, or was it just purely a chemical weapons drop by the Syrian government, Bashar Assad? Outrage that the alleged use of chemical weapons has been widespread, with Pope Francis saying nothing can justify the use of such devices as extermination against defenseless people. The European Union has called for immediate response by the international community. So you're talking about NATO here, to respond to this attack. So every side is using it to say, you know what, we can now go ahead and attack Syria, and of course Russia's using that as an excuse to go against the U.S. if they do. One video recorded by rescue workers known as the White Helmets shows a number of men, women, and children lying lifeless inside a house, many with foam at their mouths. Other unverified footage shows young children crying as they are treated in a makeshift medical unit. The article goes on, but this is significant. Remember, I did this before. Moscow, U.S. attack on Damascus is imminent. Now they're talking about Damascus. This is not Damascus, but it's a chemical attack nonetheless on the town of Duma. And this happened Saturday, just yesterday, that this occurred. So pretty significant thing. The Security Council is going to talk about this. And apparently Trump has some words about this. He tweeted, let's see, April 8th, that is today, Sunday the 8th, at 10 a.m. So this morning, many dead, including women and children, in mindless chemical attack in Syria. Area of atrocity is in lockdown and encircled by Syrian army, making it completely inaccessible to the outside world. So they're protecting it. Why is the Syrian army surrounding it? Excuse me, I had to sneeze there. And so this is reading onwards here, making it completely inaccessible to the outside world. President Putin, Russia, and Iran are responsible for backing animal Assad. Big price to pay. In his second tweet there. Open area immediately for medical help and verification. Another humanitarian disaster for no reason whatsoever. Sick, Trump says. So Trump is calling out Putin. Trump is calling out Russia. Trump is calling out Iran in relation to this chemical attack. Russia, of course, said a week ago, whatever it was, 2 weeks ago, that a false flag was going to be put down by the U.S. so that the U.S. would have an excuse to go into Syria. And this looks to me exactly like what this would be. Which side is performing the false flag so that they can get their bidding, get their will done, you know, so that they can move ahead and do whatever they want to? I'm not sure. It's not clear, but it's significant. Donald Trump is being vocal about it on Twitter. So this is an active situation, and the Security Council is going to talk about it. So what's going to happen? Is there going to be retaliation? Is Russia going to get what they want and drag the U.S. into battle in Syria because of the chemical red line, which has been a red line in the past? Donald Trump did send Tomahawk missiles in there before that. I think in the article it speaks more of the first chemical attack that that happened due to a chemical attack in Damascus specifically. So we have another one coming out here. So significant escalation, and this draws in the U.S. and this draws in Russia. So we're going to see if the U.S. is actually going to go and do any bombing or any military runs in Syria, in which case Russia would absolutely turn around and use that as an excuse effectively to start World War III. So stay on your toes, guys. Make sure you know Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. He's coming back soon, but we may see some hard times before that. I'll put the link in the description, guys. This is breaking news. We'll see you in the next video.